Rockstar Nation, we have an exclusive interview with President Jack Nalig. And we're talking about snacking with Jack. Snacks are really important, and we want to focus on that and talk about our nutrition and how snacks play a part in that. But before we get started, Jack, the Phoenix Contact Rockstar Nation, wants to know, what do you want to rock in 2024?
Reflection.
Awesome. So what does reflection mean to you?
Well, many of you may know I turned 65 about a week ago, and it's just one of those numbers that gets you to think about reflection on your life and what's ahead of you.
That's a great thing to think about. Although, it's just a number. You look amazing, you look great. But since we're on the subject of numbers, I want to throw a number at you. When it comes to snacking, a recent survey said that 97% of the people in the U.S. snack every single day. Now that's a huge number. Plus, a lot of these individuals are now replacing main meals with snacks, which is a little bit to be concerned about. We're going to be talking about that today. So our focus this week is we're going to be talking about the snacks that we're eating, because a lot of what we're snacking on is not helping us nutritionally. And we want to focus on that piece of it. Plus, we also want to talk about cravings and what that means. So we're going to take a step back in time. 10 years ago, we launched the Snacking with Jack campaign. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, that was
fun.
A fun campaign. You talked about why you love snacks, and you brought in the healthy snacks piece of it. So how has snacking changed for you in the last 10 years?
Well, thanks, Wanda. What a great reflection, first of all,
Yep.
for me to look back on 10 years ago in our wellness journey here. And that Snacking with Jack time was fun for me. But you hit it. Snacking has dramatically changed for me over those 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, at that time, I learned about the 3 white poisons, which you touched on in your wellness tour video today.
Yeah.
With Dr. Jane and Dr. Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
And that couldn't have been better said, that whole explanation of sugar and the other 2 white poisons. But at that time, I didn't take it seriously enough.
Okay.
And I think now in my life, I've learned some pretty simple lessons on snacking. And the first one is we should have 0 snacking as our goal.
Yeah.
I mean, a good snack is no snack. That's the first goal. And then the other one is that when you do snack, you must follow those 3 white poison things. And if you listen to that podcast today by you and the docs, basically snacking should be whole foods only.
Yeah.
And really in the fruits and vegetables and nuts category. And if you follow that rule,
Yeah.
then you're probably snacking right.
Which is a really good point. So the main thing is, we're kicking this year off with nutrition. Nutrition plays such a huge part in everything we want to accomplish in life, in our reflective goals, in our family goals, in our vacation, finances, because as you know, if we are not feeling good, we're not able to do the things that we want to do. And nutrition plays a huge part in that. So the thing is, we really want to actually take a look at every aspect of what we're eating, and snacks plays a huge part of it. Now, the one thing that kind of affects us here in Pennsylvania is we are in the heart of the snack capital of the world.
We are.
We are. There are over 350 manufacturers in the state of Pennsylvania whose purpose is to do nothing but produce snacks.
Yeah.
So we are overwhelmed, and certainly see that in our everyday lives, encompassing that, which is why we're standing in front of these machines. Okay, you don't want to ignore the machines. So, but with that in mind, so what are some things that you do focus on, throughout the day? Because we all have those moments where we were reaching for something.
Yeah. So before I go there, I'll reinforce the earlier point. I think we should understand why we're snacking before we snack. And there's 2 basic fundamental reasons why you're snacking. 1, you're hungry. Or 2, you're bored and it's habitual.
Yes.
You just do it out of habit. So if we go backwards, the out of habit one, you got to start working on because it's just a bad thing.
Yeah.
But when you're hungry, you shouldn't really snack. You should look back at what you were eating for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and realize why your mealtime is causing you to want to be hungry later.
Exactly.
And if you solve that, then you won't be snacking.
True.
But in the event that I need to snack,
Yeah.
right, the things that I would focus on are the simple things of the morning would typically be some sort of fruit if I could. Water, adding water to my body.
Yep.
That makes me feel full and sends that signal to the brain you don't need to snack. And then in the afternoon, I would do something typically like nuts, a healthy protein bar, which that's an 80-20 baddie, meaning it's really hard to find a good one. But you want to, as they taught us on the podcast today, stare at those labels and find the ones that have very low added sugar and higher protein, and usually higher fiber if you can get it. So I get a protein bar, typically a Lara bar or a Kind bar, and then sometimes I will snack on popcorn. But again, popcorn, you got to be careful about which brand you buy. The Skinny Pop brand is pretty low in salt and no other additives, so that one's usually pretty good. And you can find that like Sheets if you're on the highway. You can grab a Skinny Pop.
Awesome. Now you mentioned two things that we want to talk about. One is you reach for water, okay? And that's one thing we're going to be focusing on this week is trying to understand why we have cravings and what is our body asking for when we do have cravings. So when we're reaching for those salt products or those sugar products thinking that's going to fulfill us, when in actuality it's not. The simple thing to start out with is water, because a lot of times hunger pains and cravings is really all about dehydration. So you could be dehydrated, whereas drinking water may help fill that need. We're gonna go make sure you have the tools and resources for that. And the second thing you mentioned was boredom. Most people are eating when they're bored or they're stress eating. So we're gonna be giving you tips and resources on how to not only conquer those boredom eating moments and working through the stress eating moments, but really what to focus on for your main meals that are going to provide protein and zinc and all the healthy things that your body needs to get you through your morning, to get you through your afternoon, so you're not snacking as much and filling up your body and making your body work harder for what it's looking for. So great intro, much more to come, but thank you for your time today.
You're welcome. Stay away from that.
Stay away from that and stay away from the Twinkies. So we've got some great information to help you rock your nutrition this week, and we'll be sharing that with you. Go rock your world.